For anyone who doesn't know, I also sell the crochet kit. It comes with everything you need in this tutorial, minus is scissors, because that's a common tool you can find at home. But essentially, the DIY kit, you can get it on Etsy as well as my official website at pitachang.com. I have many colors of penguins to choose from, but today I'm going to be working on the gray color one with orange beak. On the inside, we have a pattern booklet. It tells you everything that you need for this tutorial. So you're going to need two different hook sizes, 6.5 mm hook and also 3.5 mm hook. The bigger hook, we're going to be using it with the Super Boogie yarn, which is size 6 yarn. And the 3.5 mm hook, we'll be using it with the medium weight yarn, also known as size 4 yarn. Other stuff that comes with the kit are the pins, needle, stuffing, and stitch markers. So let's see, take a look. So here have plenty of stuffing, and in here we have all the Super Boogie yarn that we need, as well as medium size yarn, and then the two hook sizes, so the 6.5 and the 3.5. And also in this little bag you have the stitch markers, the needle, and also a couple of pins so that we have enough things to pin when you sew the parts together. So I'm gonna take everything out of the box and we'll get started. In order to do this tutorial, you don't necessarily need to buy the pattern, but if you want to buy a copy of the pattern and have it next to you, you're welcome to go to my Etsy website or pitachang.com again. I also have the pattern on a PDF format as well, so you don't necessarily need to buy the kit to have the pattern. If you don't want to spend money, that's fine as well. You can just follow this tutorial all the way through, and the pattern, I'm going to add a caption for all of the different patterns throughout the video. Okay, so before we begin, listed here are the different crochet abbreviations you should get familiar with and know how to do. And once you know how to do these, the tutorial will basically be super simple. If you're new to crochet and this is the first time you've seen any of these abbreviations, do not be scared. So I highly recommend, if you're new, just go check out my Amigurumi 101 tutorials. It's a playlist on my channel. I have a separate tutorial to teach you each of these techniques in a slower pace, so you can check that out. For this video, I will also show you how to do it as well, but it might be slightly faster paced. Okay, let's start off using this 6.5 mm hook as well as the dark gray yarn. We're going to make the feet first. In order to make the feet, we're going to chain 3, but before you can make a chain, you will need to make a loop. So usually the way I make the loop is, you hold the yarn with both hands, and I like to cross the yarn over like that, and then you're going to hold that intersection piece, and you see how this is the loop. Fold down the loop so it cross over this longer piece of yarn. You're going to grab your hook, put it under that yarn in the middle, hold both ends, and then use the hook to pull the loop up so it becomes this loop with the knot right there. The loop might be slightly big right now. You can see like the size of the loop as compared to your hook. What you can do next is you could pull the longer end of the yarn to reduce the size of the hook. Okay, so let's chain 3. You simply put the yarn over your hook and then pull that through the loop. That's one chain. So yarn over hook, pull through the loop, and then yarn over hook, pull through the loop. As you can see, we have 3 chains, 1, 2, and 3. Next step is to make 1 single crochet in that second chain. So in the middle chain, push your hook through, yarn over hook, pull through. Now you see there are 2 loops, yarn over hook again, and then this time pull through both loops. So pull through that first loop, pull through the second loop. This is a single crochet. Next, we're going to make 3 single crochet in the next chain. So push your hook there, yarn over hook, pull through, and then yarn over hook, pull through both loops. That's 1 single crochet, but we need to make 2 more in that same chain or same stitch. So push your hook in, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops to make a single crochet. So we have 2 single crochet there. Let's push the hook again, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. Blanket yarn can be slightly hard to see, but from this angle, so just turn to the side and you can see slightly better that 1, 2, 3, we have made 3 single crochet in that chain. So now you're gonna kindly turn your piece this way, because at first we started here, right? You can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We made 4 total stitches, but we're gonna turn it the other way around. And then lastly, we're gonna push our hook about right there. Yes, and then make an increase. An increase in my book is basically make 2 single crochet in that same stitch. So let's yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. Same thing, push the hook through that same spot, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. And then you can kind of adjust slightly by stretching the piece slightly, to shape the piece to look like an oval. And this is going to be our feet. Next step is we're going to finish off by grabbing a scissor and then cut out this tail. Just leave about a foot long so that we have enough tail to sew the pieces together. And once you're done, just pull out the yarn like that. Now turn around, let's cut out these excess pieces. Here we got 1 feet, let's make another one. Now grab the light gray yarn, pull some out. We're going to make the wings. And And to do that, first make a new loop. So same thing, gonna cross the yarn over, fold it down, grab the hook, and then pull it through and resize the hole slightly so the hole is not too big. This time you're going to chain 4 times. So yarn over hook, pull through 1, yarn over hook, pull through 2, yarn over hook, pull through 3, and then yarn over hook, pull through 4. You can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4. We count once again, 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, make 1 single crochet in the next chain right next to hook. Usually when you chain like this, you're always gonna have to skip the closest chain to the hook. So that one we skip, and then on the one right next to it, let's push the hook through. Make a single crochet, so yarn over hook, pull through. Now you have the 2 loops, yarn over hook again, and then pull through both loops. 1, 2. That's 1 single crochet right there. On the stitch right after, make 1 half double crochet. For half double crochet, you're going to yarn over hook first, then push the hook through that stitch. You see, you're gonna yarn over hook again and then pull through. Here you have 3 loops. Yarn over hook again and then pull through all 3 loops. This is half double crochet. On the next stitch, make 1 half double crochet and also a slip stitch. So let's start with half double crochet. You yarn over hook, you push the hook into that chain, yarn over hook again, and then pull through. Now you have 3 loops. You yarn over hook again and then pull through all 3 loops. And then on the same chain, right, you push your hook back in, you yarn over hook, pull through, and instead of yarn over hook again and pull through like a single crochet, you're just gonna pull the first loop through the second loop. This is called a slip stitch. You can see we have the shape of a wing, and here we're done. All we need to do is just finish off. Just make sure to give yourself plenty of length for the tail so we have enough to sew with. And this time we also gonna keep the other shorter end of the tail. We're not gonna cut it off because we need that to sew the wing on. Now let's make another one. Next, let's grab the orange color yarn and then a 3.5 mm hook. So first off, I'm just gonna cut off that piece of yarn in the middle. Let's make a new loop. To do that, you simply take the yarn, cross over the yarn to make sort of like an intersection. You're gonna hold that piece and then fold down the loop and then hold it again. Grab your hook and then pull through that middle piece like that. You could see that right now the loop is slightly bigger than the hook. So what you can do is pull the longer tail of the yarn to reduce the size of the hook. Now let's chain 4 times. So yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through, and then 2 more chains. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's make 2 single crochet in the next 2 stitches. Right now 1 chain is basically equal to 1 stitch, so I might use the 2 terms interchangeably. When making a chain, you're always gonna skip that chain right next to the hook, so that one doesn't count. So technically we can only work on the 3 chains over there. So skip the first one and onto the second one, push your hook through, and then yarn over hook, pull through. You see how you have 2 loops, yarn over hook again, and then pull through both loops to make a single crochet. On the next stitch, also make another single crochet. So 1 single crochet in the next 2 stitches, as we can see. And on the 3rd chain, just push your hook through. We're going to make 3 single crochet in the same stitch. So yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. Again in that same stitch, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. One more time, push your hook into that same stitch, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. And right now you can see that although we started from this side, we're gonna kind of continue around to the other side. Next, on that next stitch, push your hook in, make 1 single crochet. So yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. And on the last stitch, which is this one next to here, we're going to make an increase. An increase in my book is basically 2 single crochet in the same stitch. So let's make a single crochet and then 1 more in the same stitch. Right, so you can see now we made the first round, and in this round there should be a total of 8 stitches. So I'm going to count for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On the last stitch, we're going to mark it with a stitch marker. So just grab one of your stitch marker and simply insert it into that last stitch of this round. And kind of rotate it in so it's secure. Okay. For the second round, we're going to single crochet around. What that means is in each of the stitch, we're going to make only 1 single crochet, and that's it. So this round of the pattern is very easy to remember. So I'm gonna start by pushing the hook into the next stitch. And another thing I want you to notice is that when I push my hook in, you can see that the hook is under 2 loops. So you can see that front loop and then back loop of the stitch. So that's very important because it's gonna affect the way the plushie looks like. So just make sure you push it into both, not just one like that, but under both loops. Okay, now yarn over hook, pull through, and then yarn over hook again, pull through both loops to make a stitch. I mean a single crochet. On the next stitch, push your hook through, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, and then pull through both loops. I'm just gonna repeat that all around. Okay. That was the 3rd stitch, so now I'm on the 4th one. Just gonna continue. On the 5th one, that's the 5th single crochet. Six single crochet, seven single crochet, and then on the last one you'll have to remove the stitch marker first in order to crochet that last stitch. Okay, that's the 8th single crochet. And once you're done with this round, simply insert back the stitch marker into that very last stitch. So here you can see how it looks like after the 2nd round. You should still have a total of 8 stitches because all we did is just make single crochet, so it doesn't change the number of stitches in this round. I'm gonna count again to show you. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8 is the one with the stitch marker. Okay, so I'm actually gonna just cut that tail in the middle because it's a little bit in the way. For round 3, we're going to follow a sequence. So basically make an increase followed by 1 single crochet and repeat that for 4 times. So let's start. Push your hook into that first stitch. In that first one, make an increase, and increase is 2 single crochet in 1 stitch. That's 1 single crochet. We need 1 more in that same stitch. So that's an increase. And then in the stitch after, just make 1 single crochet. Yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. So you can see it's an increase and then a single crochet. You're gonna repeat that same sequence again 3 more times. So in the next stitch, let's yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. That's 1 single crochet. And then in the same stitch, I'm making the 2nd single crochet. In the 3rd stitch, just 1 single crochet. So you can see that's the 2nd sequence right there. And same thing for the next 2 times. So make an increase. And then 1 single crochet. increase again. 1, 2. On the last stitch, take out that stitch marker and then make 1 single crochet on there. Okay, so now we are done. After you complete round 3, you should have a total of 12 stitches. So you can just count. I'm gonna start from that very first stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. If everything looks correct, it's time to finish off. Again, leave a long tail so that you have enough to sew with. Okay, next, grab the dark gray color yarn. We are going to make the head and also the body of the penguin. Now let's make a new loop and then fold that down. We're going to make something called magic ring, although the approach to making this is not an exact magic ring, it's an alternative method to it. So instead of making a magic ring, we're just gonna chain 2 and make 6 single crochet into the first chain. The reason I do that instead is because with the blanket yarn, magic ring is hard to make, and even with a regular yarn, it's kind of hard for a beginner to make. Even for me, I just prefer just make 2 chain and 6 single crochet, a lot easier. So we grab the yarn, pull through, and then grab the yarn again and then pull through. Here we now have 1, 2 chains. You're gonna skip that chain next to hook and then push the hook into the first chain. On here, let's make 6 single crochet. So yarn over hook, pull through, you have the 2 loops, you yarn over hook again and then pull through to make a single crochet. Now repeat 5 more times by inserting the hook into that same chain or the same hole that you see right there. So yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. Super important here when working with blanket yarn is don't crochet too tight. Having very tight piece is not very good because it's gonna cause the head to be very pointy. So crocheting very loosely, as long as you don't see the hole between stitches, is all good. Okay, we already made 2 single crochet, so let's repeat again. Push the hook through that chain to make the 3rd single crochet. 3 again, 4 again, 5, and then last one, 6. On the last stitch, let's put in the stitch marker so that we don't lose our count. Right there. Again, blanket yarn is slightly harder to see, so if needed, you can always put more than one stitch marker, maybe with a different color, maybe add every other stitch so that you can see better. But for me, since I've been crocheting for a while using the blanket yarn, I can kind of know and be able to tell, you know, where the stitches are at. So this is the first stitch. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Now let's begin round 2. Round 2 is make an increase 6 times. An increase again is 2 single crochet in the same stitch. So push the hook into that first stitch, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. Same thing. Push the hook through that same stitch, yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. Now we have 2 single crochet, 1, 2 in that same stitch. Repeat that 5 more times. So on the second stitch, make this 1 single crochet. I'm gonna make another single crochet in that second stitch. Okay, here you go. 2 single crochet in second stitch. On the third stitch, same thing. 2 single crochet. 1, 2. On the fourth stitch, 1, 2. On the fifth stitch, 1, 2. And then on the last stitch, just take out the stitch marker. One, 2. Okay. So you're going to insert back the stitch marker on the last stitch of the round. We made 2 single crochet, but you're gonna insert it on that second single crochet because that is the last stitch. Okay, after you make this round, you might see like, oh, it's starting to curve, like your piece, right? What you can do here is, I usually like to stretch, you know, use my hand to stretch the piece, pull it out so that it doesn't bend too much. And I will keep doing this after every single round that I make so that the piece become more flat. Stuffing will also help. When we add stuffing, it would stretch out the piece so it's more flat and not look like a cone. So at the end of round 2, you should have a total of 12 stitches. So I'm gonna count for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, for round 3, we're going to follow a sequence. So in the first stitch, make 1 single crochet, and then in the second stitch, just increase. We're gonna repeat that sequence for 6 times. So let's start. Push the hook into the first stitch, make 1 single crochet. In the second stitch, make 2 single crochet in that second stitch. 2 single crochet is known as increase in my dictionary. So you can see there's 1 single crochet and then there's 2 single crochet in that next stitch. Repeat the same sequence 5 more times. So on the third stitch, 1 single crochet. On the fourth stitch, that's 1, that's 2. So 1 and then 2. On the fifth stitch, just 1 single crochet. On the sixth stitch, make 2 single crochet, 1, 2. On the seventh stitch, that's 1 single crochet. On the eighth stitch, 2 single crochet. That's 1, and then that is 2. On the ninth stitch, 1 single crochet. On the 10th stitch, 2 single crochet. That's 1, and then that is the second one. On the 11th stitch, make 1 single crochet. And then on the last stitch, also 12th stitch, make 2 single crochet. Let's mark the end of this round. Okay, after this round, you might see, oh, it looked a lot more coney than before. Here, we have to stretch the piece again to make it not look too coney. I just like to stretch it a lot as I go. Or if it's still very pointy, you can also, loosen your tension a little bit more. Don't crochet too tight. So you can see that after I stretch it out, it looked pretty flat, right? Okay. At the end of this round, you should have a total of 18 stitches. So I'm gonna count for you once again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and then 18. If it's too hard to tell from the top side, you turn to the side so you can see each of the stitch more clearly, right? Because each stitch will have a front loop, right? And also a back loop. So you can tell where is where. Now let's begin round 4. For round 4, it's going to involve some color changing. So if you need extra help, please check out the Amigurumi 101 tutorial playlist that I put up. Okay, let's start off by making 2 single crochet followed by an increase, and then do that twice. So in the first stitch, make a single crochet. On the second stitch, another single crochet, and then on the third stitch, make an increase. That's 1 single crochet. In the same stitch, make 1 more single crochet. All right, so we did 1 single crochet, 1 single crochet, and then an increase. Do that 1 more time, that same sequence. So on the 4th stitch, just 1 single crochet. On the 5th stitch, just 1 single crochet. On the 6th stitch, make an increase. So that's 1, and then 1 more single crochet, right? So 1, 1, and then 2, or an increase there. Okay, I'm gonna stretch out the piece as I go to avoid it being too pointy. It's gonna curve a little bit, which is what we want, but we don't want it to be too curvy. On the next stitch, make a single crochet. However, since on the stitch after we're gonna switch the color of the yarn, instead of complete the single crochet by yarn over hook and then pull through both loops, we're just gonna pause right there where there's 2 loops in order to change the color. You're gonna change it to the white color. So just grab some white yarn. What you're gonna do here is put that white string over the hook and you're gonna pull that through the 2 loops. Okay, and in order to secure the color change, you're gonna hold on to the long end of the gray yarn and also the short end of the white yarn. Kind of hold them together, right? And then kind of put it on the back side, hold it, and just make sure that the size of the white yarn loop is good, not too big. Now for the pattern, on the next stitch, push the hook in, and then we need to secure the 2 tails, so we're gonna bring those 2 up and put it over the hook. And now we're gonna continue making 1 single crochet with that white yarn. So yarn over hook and then pull through. Okay, we have the 2 loops as usual, and then yarn over hook again and then pull through both loops. So we just make 1 single crochet with the white color yarn. Now on the back, we can just cut that gray tail because we're done. Now you could crochet as usual until the next color chain, which is coming up soon. Let's make an increase in the next stitch. So 1 and then 2. However, since the following stitch needs to be dark gray again, I'm gonna just undo that last stitch and just have 2 loops and not have the single crochet be entirely complete, since we need to make a color change. So again, grab the gray color yarn, put it over the hook, and then pull through to complete that single crochet. Same thing, we're gonna grab that 2 tails and then hold it on the back while I insert the hook into the next stitch. On this stitch, make 1 single crochet. So to secure the color change, just hold the 2 tails, put it over the hook, and then just make single crochet as usual. So yarn over hook, pull through, yarn over hook, pull through both loops. Okay, as you can see here, I'm gonna turn to the back side and then cut out the other color tail and then continue as usual. On the next stitch, make 1 single crochet. Okay, now to change the color, let's grab the white yarn, put it over the hook once again, pull through, and then push the hook into the next stitch. Gonna grab both of the color yarn to put it over the hook for security, and then crochet as usual to make a single crochet with the white yarn. We need to make one more single crochet for it to be an increase. So in that same stitch, make one more single crochet, so we got an increase. And then in the stitch after, we're just gonna make one single crochet. I'm gonna pause right here, come back to cut the other color tail. Alright, and then we're gonna make the color change one more time for this round. So let me undo that slightly until there are just 2 loops. Now back to the gray color. Pull that through. On the next stitch, make one single crochet, so put those tails over and then make one single crochet. Cut that white tail in the back. On the next stitch, increase. That's 1. That is 2. On the next 2 stitches, just make one single crochet. So that's one single crochet, and then in the next one, make another one single crochet. And on the last stitch, increase. That's 1, and then that's 2 single crochet. Mark the end of the round once you're done. Okay, so the piece is looking slightly pointy again. Stretch it out as much as you can, but just make sure to not put any hole in between the gap. We don't want that. And if any of the tails inside are kind of annoying, you should be able to cut it a little bit shorter, but not too short, because we don't want to damage any part inside of that. So this should be good enough. Okay, so at the end of this round, you should have a total of 24 stitches. I'm gonna count one more time, but as you make each of the round, you should make sure to count it yourself so that you're not losing track. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and then 24, last one. Okay, let's begin the 5th round. You're going to make 3 single crochet and then increase, and then repeat that sequence twice. So let's start. On that first stitch, 1 single crochet. Second stitch, 1 more single crochet. On the third stitch, 1 single crochet. And on the fourth stitch, make 2 single crochet. Okay, repeat that once again. So 3 single crochet, and then increase. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then increase. 1, 2. But because the next stitch needs to be white color, I'm gonna undo that slightly just so we have the 2 loops to sheen to the white color. Okay, the color sheen is just gonna be exactly the same way we have done for the previous round, so I might go slightly faster here. Okay, so for the white yarn, you're going to make the same sequence again, just 3 single crochet and then increase. That's 1, 2, 3, and then increase. That's 1, and then in the same stitch, that is 2. Cut the dark gray tail. Now we're gonna have to change the color again, so I'm gonna undo that. So we just have the 2 loops. And then change the color. Now make 2 single crochet, 1 in each. So on that next stitch, 1 single crochet, and then stitch after also 1 single crochet. And I'm not completing all the way because we need to change the color again. So let me just cut out that white tail. Let me try to untangle the yarn slightly. Okay, with the white yarn, put it on the hook and then pull through to change color. Using the white yarn, you're going to make an increase in the next stitch. One, and then in the same stitch, 1 more single crochet, so that's 2. And then in the next 3 stitches, make 1 single crochet in each, so that's 1, that is 2, and then that is 3. Okay, I'm making that 3rd single crochet halfway because we need to change the color once more. Okay, this is the last color change of this round. With the gray color yarn, make the increase. I'm trying to put back all the tails, make sure it's secure. So that's 1 single crochet, and then 1 more in that same stitch. In the next 3 stitches, make 1 single crochet in each. So that's 1, that's 2, and then 3. Make an increase in the next one. 1, 2, and then end with 1 single crochet. Here you go. Insert back the stitch marker on that last stitch of the round, and then let me cut out that white yarn. Okay, so right now you can see that, oh, the head looks so pointy, right? You're gonna have to stretch the piece again so it become more flat. So let me flatten it with all my strength. Okay. Yeah, if you keep stretching the piece, as long as you're not stretching it too much to create holes between the stitches, it's all good. And just make sure you don't crochet too tight to prevent it from being pointy. So now you can see it's a lot more flat and round and nice. And as you crochet, just keep stretching. It only takes a few seconds. I'm taking a bit longer just to show you how to do it. Just like that. Okay, so at the end of round 5, you should have a total of 30 stitches. I'm not gonna count again, but I highly recommend that you do, because if you're missing any stitches, it's easier to fix now rather than coming back and fix later, because you don't want to have to undo a lot of the rounds just to go back and fix the mistake made in the previous round. So I highly recommend just count your stitches before you move on to the next round. Okay, on round 6, I'm gonna kind of fold the piece like that because it's getting kind of big and slightly harder to hold. So this helped me being able to hold better. But on round 6, we're going to make 9 single crochet, 1 in each with this gray yarn. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, so 6, 7, 8, and then 9. Gonna only do it halfway because we need to change to white color. So with the white yarn, make 6 single crochet. There might be some pieces, tiny pieces of yarn falling as you cut the stitch. As you cut the yarn, sorry. That's fine, just pick it up and then kind of throw it away. Okay, so we got 1 single crochet. Okay, let's make 5 more. So 2, 3, 4, and then 5, and then 6. On the 6th, prepare to change color again to dark gray color. And with the dark gray color, you're gonna make 2 single crochet, 1 in each. So 1 and then 2 again halfway, because we need to change back to white. And with the white color, make 6 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Again, halfway, need to change back to gray color. With the gray color, make 7 single crochet. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then take out stitch marker, 7. Put back the stitch marker at the last stitch of the round. Gonna cut out that white tail. And here we just finished round number 6. In this round, you should have a total of 30 stitches again, because we did not increase or anything, so the number of stitches remain the same. I highly recommend you count. I'm not gonna count this one, but you can see we're starting to get the head of the penguin now. Okay, for round 7, let's make 9 single crochet with the gray yarn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9, just halfway. Change to white color. And with the white color, you're going to make 14 single crochet. Okay, that is 1, and let me cut the tails. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then 14 halfway, because we need to change the color once again to dark gray. And with the dark gray color, make 7 single crochet. That's 1. I'm gonna cut that white tail. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull out the stitch marker. 7. Insert the stitch marker back. Here we're at the end of round 7. Gonna stretch the piece one more time. Here we got the face or the head of the penguin. Okay, so at the end of round 7, we're gonna pause right here to sew the eye or embroider the eye, as well as the cheek blushes detail. So grab the dark gray yarn, and also grab the needle. What I'm gonna do is just put that into the eye pin, pull it through. Just leave a little bit of the length so it doesn't come out. And as for the eyes, you can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows or rounds of the white color. The eye is gonna be on this round, so this is the last round, so it's gonna be 1 round on top of this last one, so round 6. And as you can see, these middle 2 is gray, right? And then you just count 1, 2. This is where the eyes is gonna be at. Simply push the needle from the inside to the outside and then pull through, so you have enough length to sew with. And then on one stitch downward, just insert your needle and then pull through here. So we already marked the location of where the eye is gonna be at. Repeat that same step a couple more times so we have an eye that is thick enough. I would say 3-4 times is good enough. Okay, now I'm gonna cut the tails. You See how they are, you know, two ends of the tails, and then simply just tie them together into a knot. Maybe do a double knot so it's secure. Just like that. You could just cut it shorter or just leave it, it's fine. It's just gonna be on the inside. And we're gonna do the same thing for the other eye. So on the other side, you see this gray portion, just gonna count 1 and then 2, and then oops, insert from the inside out. Okay. Now repeat a few more times so that the eye is thick enough. Let's see. Yeah, maybe one more time. Yeah, it's about the same size. So let's cut the tails. And then tie these two tails together. Tie it one more time. So it's a double knot for more security. Okay, here we go. We got the eyes. Okay, next we're gonna make the cheek blushes. It's gonna be right next to the eye. So if you count from here, just count 1 and then insert it from inside out. And then push it in on the right to it. Okay, that's good enough. Same thing, tie the knot. Make one more cheek of the blushes on the other side. Now tie the double knot again. Okay, so now we're done with the sheets. Okay, here I wanna tell you one more tip. If when you do the color changing, you can see that the color is not super smooth, right? The way you can make it smoother is by embroider the white yarn over that gray area if you would like, or maybe like that spot for an instance. So simply cut out like a long piece of white yarn, cut it, insert that into the needle. So for an instance, if I don't like this gray piece right there, I'm gonna insert my white yarn right here. And then try to sew over that. Yeah, so by sewing it over, it kind of helped block the gray yarn. So like for that piece over here too, I can just try to do the same. Now it looks a lot smoother, right? I don't really mind that piece right there, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. And once you're done sewing, I'm just gonna tie the knot, but not too tight. Just secure enough so it doesn't come loose. Okay, all good. So now let's begin round 8. So round 8, we're gonna change to the light gray color. First off, let's take out that stitch marker. And I'm also gonna just cut off this. Leave certain length. Okay, let's just cut it off. Okay, so now I'm basically gonna finish it off. I'm going to show you a different way to change the color because over here I need the color change to be a smooth transition, unlike this side. This side, when you switch the color, you can see like a division between the color. It's not smooth, but it's alright. It doesn't have to be, but on the side I want it to be smooth. So what we're going to do is grab a needle, insert that tail into a needle. We're gonna have to clean up the edge. So you see this is the next stitch, and then the stitch after, insert the needle and pull through. Alright, and then coming back to that last stitch of the round, you're gonna insert the needle right in the middle. So this is one loop, that's the second loop, so right in the middle between the two loops. Okay, pull through again. And then on the inside, we want to kind of secure it. So what I'm gonna do is just grab a random piece of yarn. Okay, insert the needle and then pull through. Slightly tight, I would say. Then you can cut off the excess yarn, that's fine. And what you're gonna see right here is it's kind of smooth, right? Like the way you finish off. There might be a little bit of a bump, and that is natural because you know we crochet in a spiral manner, and therefore it's not gonna be entirely smooth, but this is as smooth as it's gonna get. Okay, so now let's begin round 8 by making a new loop. So let me count back to where we did the transition. Right now it's kind of hard to tell because everything looks smooth. So I'm just gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the last stitch of round 7. So on the stitch after, push the hook in, and we're gonna make a single crochet. So let me undo for a bit. Okay, so essentially push the hook in, and then you just make a single crochet as usual. So yarn over hook, pull through, and then you would already have 2 loops. Yarn over hook, pull through both loops, and that's a single crochet. For round 8, we're gonna make 14 single crochet, then an increase. So we already have 2 single crochet, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then increase. 1, 2. Okay, that's an increase. Repeat that same sequence one more time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then increase on that last stitch. Okay, now we're at the end of round 8, so let's insert the stitch marker. Okay, at the end of this round, you should have a total of 32 stitches, so make sure to count before moving on to the next round. Okay, for round 9, all you're going to do is single crochet around. Essentially, just make 1 single crochet in each of the stitch around. So like this is 1, and then keep going. 2, all right, 3, and then just keep going, just 1 in each of the stitch. Okay, on the last stitch, remove the stitch marker and then make the last single crochet and then insert the stitch marker back. So here we at the end of round 9. You should still have 32 stitches because all we did is single crochet around. So make sure to count again just in case you make a mistake, because I made a mistake before. Sometimes I just couldn't see the stitches because it's kind of hard to see with the blanket yarn, but yeah, just make sure to count before you move on. For round 10, let's make 6 single crochet, then decrease. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A decrease is an opposite of increase. When you increase the number of stitches by 1, right? Because you make 2 stitches in 1 stitch. But for the decrease, you reduce the stitch count by 1. So let's push your hook into that next stitch, yarn over hook, and then pull through. Same thing again on the next stitch, push your hook there, yarn over hook, pull through. So right now what we're trying to do is we're gonna crochet that 2 stitches together so it become 1. It reduce, right? Get reduced. Okay, in order to crochet that together, yarn over hook again and then pull through all 3 loops. Slightly hard to see, but hopefully you can see. This is the 2 stitches we're trying to crochet together into 1. So this is that decrease stitch right there. All right, let's repeat the same sequence. So 6 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, followed by a decrease. So let's make a decrease again. Push the hook into the first one, yarn over hook, pull through, hook into the second one, yarn over hook, pull through, 3 loops, yarn over hook, pull through all of them. Okay, same sequence. 1 single crochet, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, followed by a decrease. So have 3 loops, pull through all. Okay, one last time. So 6 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take out that stitch marker so that we can make a decrease. And then mark the end of the round. Okay, so that's the end of round 10, and you should have a total of 28 stitches because we made 4 decreases, and therefore 32 minus 4 is 28. You should see that now your piece starting to shrink a little bit, or like the gap is trying to close, right? Because that's the goal. Okay, for round 11, let's make 5 single crochet, then a decrease. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then decrease. Repeat the sequence for 3 more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, okay. And then decrease. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then decrease. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take out the stitch marker, make the decrease. And then mark the end of the round. At the end of round 11, you should have a total of 24 stitches. Again, make sure to count. The penguin is coming along very nicely. You can see that it looking very round. Now it's time to add some stuffing. Just gonna take all these out. When you add the stuffing, what I like to do is I like to stuff on the side first. So you just put in the stuffing and then kind of push it to the side. You can see that the center is kind of empty because I like to push everything out to the side. Some people might ask, how much do you stuff? It really depends on how you like it, right? You don't want to stuff too little because the plushie will not hold its shape. But if you stuff too much, then it's gonna be very stiff. So you want to kind of stuff in the middle. There's a lot more stuffing than you need in the back, but I'm gonna add a little bit more. We're gonna add a little bit more stuffing before we close the hole, but we're gonna leave it as that for now, and then put the leftover on the side so that we still can crochet the rest, and we don't want the stuffing to get in the way, right? So don't need to put too much right now. for round 12, all we're going to do is make one single crochet followed by a decrease for a total of 8 times. That's 1. That's a decrease. And let's just keep repeating that. That's 1. That's a decrease. 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 That's 1. That's a decrease, almost there. This is 1, and then take off stitch marker, make one more decrease here. Okay, and then insert back the stitch marker. Here we're at the end of round 12. You should have a total of 16 stitches in this round. And here's how it should look. Okay, now the last round, round 13. All we're going to do is decrease all the way until the end of the round. It's gonna be 8 decreases in total. Okay, this is 1 decrease. Two decreases. Three. Four. Five. Six. Seven. And then on the last one, just take out the stitch marker first. Eight. And you should also have 8 stitches remaining at the end of round 13. Now it's time to finish off. So essentially just cut out a long tail and then pull out. since we made, 2 more rounds after we stuff, there's still space inside, so you can add more stuffing as needed. I personally like to stuff a lot, like really a lot, so I'm gonna keep going. I might use all of the stuffing in the back. Yes, I'm using all of them. Okay. So you can see that my plushie is super firm. Next step is to close the hole. Just insert the yarn into the needle. And to close the hole, here's what I'm gonna do. This is the stitch next to where you finish off. I'm gonna skip that one, go to the next one. Gonna insert it outside in, but when you push the needle in, you wanna push it out on the next one, right? And then I'm gonna pull. You go to the next stitch here, push it in, and then push the needle out on the next one, and then pull in, out, pull, and then in, out, until you come all the way around, and then you just pull very tight so that the hole would close. And then just for extra security, I'm just gonna kind of put the yarn over that middle spot. And then gonna insert the yarn nearby, just inside and then outside somewhere else. Yeah. And then I could just cut this shorter. And then can simply just hide the tail inside the piece. Should be good. Then you can massage or reshape this a little bit so it look round. Okay. Okay, so now it's just time for assembly. Let's put the beak on here. It's gonna go on the same round as the eye, but just in the middle part where it's gray. When you sew, I highly recommend use the pin. We need to pin it down so that it does not move. The kit comes with total of 6 pins. You can just pin it all if needed, but I think 3 is good enough. Like, it's not gonna really move at this rate. Now just grab the tail, insert it into the needle, and we're gonna start sewing. So when I sew, I like to try to grab a nearby piece of yarn. So you can see I found this white piece of yarn. I insert under it and then you're just gonna pull through. Okay. Now to be able to sew seamlessly, you're gonna go to that orange piece, so the beak, gonna go from the inside and then come out on this stitch which is next to that one. Okay, so inside out. All right, grab the yarn nearby. Okay, and then push it through right under that piece of yarn, just like that. Okay, go back to the beak on the stitch next to it, which is that one, from the inside push it out. Okay, and then find any piece of yarn nearby on the penguin, and then push it right under. And on the beak, you're gonna come push it out on the stitch next to that one you just sewed. And then just kind of keep going with the same method. Okay, gonna inside out on the beak. And then find a yarn piece nearby on the face. On the beak, inside out. On the penguin, again nearby, let's find a piece of yarn that we can grab. On the beak, inside out. Okay, on the penguin, grab any yarn you can find nearby. I don't know if that one is a good one. Let me grab a different one. I guess that one is. On the beak, grab the yarn nearby. Same, and then you just continue until you reach the end on the other side. You could also add stuffing to the beak a little bit before you sew it all the way closed, but I'm personally not gonna add any. It's fine because the piece is small enough, so it's gonna hold its shape. Okay, so once it's done, you can just take out all the pins. And in order to finish off this, let's insert the needle in, and then push it out somewhere else. Yeah. And pull tight. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hide all these tails inside. Alright. So here you got the beak nicely sewn. Okay, next step, let's sew the feet onto the penguin here. The feet is gonna be on here. So you see how there are two rounds of light gray color? Yeah, so the edge gonna go right there. And same thing before you sew. Just put a lot of pins on so that it stay in place. I'm gonna do 3 on one feet and then do 3 on the other feet. We want to put both feet on here first so that you see the position and you can adjust before you actually sew it on. So I think the distance between the 2 feet looks okay. If it's too close or too far apart, you still can adjust it because you didn't sew it yet. But I think it looks good. I'm gonna keep it that way. Now insert the tail into the needle. The way we're gonna sew this is gonna be very similar to how you sew the beak, but slightly different but similar. Okay, so first off, we're gonna grab a nearby yarn on the body. So I already found one here, and then pull through. Actually, I'm gonna move it a little bit because if I grab that one, it twists my leg. I want it to kind of be at this angle, so I'm gonna grab another piece of yarn. So instead of that one, I'm gonna grab another one somewhere here. Okay. So that the feet look more straight. Once I grab the yarn, I'm gonna do kind of inside out, but going into the feet and then coming out. Now, instead of grabbing the yarn nearby right away, I'm gonna push the needle into the feet and then coming out first. Okay, and then I can grab the yarn nearby. I find it this way makes the sewing look much nicer, so that's why I'm doing it this way. Okay, so once you're done, you're gonna go inside out from the feet. So inside out and then outside in to the next. Okay, now grab a piece of yarn on the body, pull through, then coming through the same stitch again, inside and then out. And then on the next stitch, outside and then going in. Grab a piece of yarn that you can find nearby. And then inside, out again. And then outside, in. Grab a piece of yarn, the body that you can find. Pull through. We're gonna do inside out again. And then outside in. Grab the yarn. Inside out. Outside in. And then let's bring the needle somewhere else. Okay, let's cut this tail and then hide that yarn inside. Oh. Okay, so we got one feet there. I'm gonna sew the other feet and then we'll come back. Okay, we're almost done. Lastly, we just need to sew the wings on here. So the edge of the wing is gonna be right there. So that's one stitch of the white yarn, so right there. Simply insert one of the tail into the needle and you're gonna insert the tail in like that and then repeat for the second one. And then you can try to adjust the wing a little bit, or you know which side you want it to show up. Yeah, so something like that. But just pushing in or inserting the tails in, it's not gonna be secure because anyone can just pull this and the wing would come out. So in addition to that, I want to attach the wing to the body. So I'm gonna go back like right here, at a spot close to the middle of the wing, fold it down, right? Gonna pick up a little piece on the wing and then push the needle through the yarn so that it actually pull the wing down. Gonna insert the needle back here. Okay. So now we add, some attachment. So we sew that part of the wing to the body so it flaps down. And it's not gonna, well, you shouldn't be pulling the wing very hard, but it's not gonna really come out if no one pulls on it. Now just tie the two tails together for security. Cut the tail. And then we'll hide it inside the body. Okay, attach the last wing and then you're done. And here we are done. Look at how cute he is. And you can also make it in different colors as well. If you like this tutorial, please like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I would love to hear your opinions. And if you want to see any other animals crochet tutorial or maybe crochet with different type of yarns and things like that, please let me know in the comments below. And thank you so much if you watched till the end. Bye bye.